all along who was
has
Croatian background. So.
Huh. Okay, Len, you're gonna react and review to Croatia, The Dream. I'm glad you like it and you don't hate it. Yeah, what did you think of Croatia?
Oh, yeah, awesome. Because I think I do know just a little bit of the background with Croatia, because I know they've been suffering from the war and the consequences, and you know, around the old Yugoslavian region.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that the message is quite clear. You know, we dream of love and we dream of peace and stuff, but you know the war is still there and the consequences still it's very severe and it's still there. But I think for Eurovision it's a good chance for the country to speak it out loud. You know, it's been a tough time, but we're still alive and we're still rising, we're still dreaming, and that's a very good message to convey. And he was very emotional. He has incredible voice. You know, he has very high notes. You know, sometimes it goes high, it goes higher, and he goes even higher at the end. So it was impressive. I love this song, man.
Oh, awesome! How do you think it's going to be on the stage?
Yeah, man. Why not? So I think they can bring the same thing on the stage, just him and the piano. And we'll go from there, man, because I think he has incredible voice and he doesn't need anything else. So his voice, I think, is simply enough for a great performance.
You think he's one of the standout vocalists?
Yeah, man. Like I love, high male voice, man.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of it in Fiat pop, like in soundtrack songs and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah. Because lots of guys, I think there's the stereotypes. Guys normally have low and powerful and warm voices. But I mean, for this guy, man, he can sing high notes very well. So yeah, very standout.
Cool.
I'm joined with Australian composer musicologist extraordinaire Elysse Turner. Hi, Elysse.
The one and only.
Yeah. We'll start with Croatia, The Dream by Roko.
Roko Blažević, I think.
That's right.
That's how I'm saying it.
Sounds like
it
a
sounds
J-pop
fancy.
artist or something. Roko.
Really?
I don't know. That's how I see it. Okay, The Dream. Give me your breakdown.
All right, so we have a male singer and we've got two languages. We are in English and Croatian, which, as usual, that's not too surprising because English is one which tends to encompass all those watching because English tends to be a language people know, but also Croatian to sort of like head back to their roots, which is also good. A bit of both, nice little mix, good balance. Our vocal range is C3 to C5, so we have 2 octaves, and I'll put a little image below / Mitch is going to do that for me because he's the best editor ever. Sorry for the amount of work you've been doing. Our key, we have a key change in this song. So we start in F minor, and then we shift up a semitone to F sharp minor, which doesn't seem like much, but it's just enough to have that big building effect at the end. Our time signature's in 4/4 at 115 beats per minute, allegro speed. And we have 6 chords in this song with 1 standout. So let's see our chords. Our first chord is F minor. That's F major, I apologize. And then our third chord is A flat major. We have a 4th chord, and our 4th chord is, sorry, I really haven't done my notes very well, B flat minor, B flat minor. And then we've got our 5th chord. Now, 5th chord is usually a minor chord, but it's a bit odd because it is a major chord. So instead of it being C minor, we have C major. Then our final 2 chords are D flat major and E flat major, which that was E flat major. So we've got a total of 6 chords with one odd major chord, which is the C major chord, but it's got enough to sort of like have that tension. I think I really like how they've used that C major chord instead of the C minor chord. It works really nicely. In terms of instruments, we have vocals and a lot of synthy stuff happening with keyboard and drums and strings and trombone. So not too much, but enough to sort of have that really nice build. And I think it's got, like, with all the synthy noises, you've got this really ethereal soundscape. I think that works really well for the topic of the song, which is a dream, the dream. It's very, you know, dreamy in the way in which it sounds, which I think is really cool. Now for the song structure. We have an intro for 2 bars, and then verse 1 lasts for 8 bars, with verse 2 following immediately for another 8 bars. We have a pre-chorus for 8, and then a chorus for 8, followed by another chorus for 10 bars, and the extra bars are used to hold a note before it goes into an instrumental for 8 bars. Now, Mitch, I know you're not a huge fan of instrumentals, but I think this instrumental has a really good build-up. You've kind of got this really like, which it sort of follows the melody line of the vocals in the chorus, and also has a bit of a melodic sort of vibe happening as well. So our instrumental is 8 bars. It is the same length as a whole verse, but I think it works really nicely. And if anything, it sort of replaces another verse, because it follows on with a pre-chorus for 10 bars with the extra bars to assist in a key change, and then another 2 choruses in the new key, 8 bars, and then 14 bars with the extra bars to hold the note and sort of coda it out, finish the song off. So instead of having like a third verse, we have that instrumental section. And I think they use it really well to have that sort of engagement and entice that, like, listening of the track. It doesn't get boring, it doesn't get old. It's something a little bit different, and considering you're sort of ending on 2 choruses and you've got an overflow of choruses, I think it works really nicely. That's our musical breakdown. Questions before we continue?
No, that's really interesting. What do you think about the key change?
I liked the key change, and I think they also left enough space. Like, they've got a lot of extra bars in there to sort of let that build and let that grow naturally without being we're going to force a key change in now. Quick, hurry up. You've got those 2 bars or those 3 bars or whatever, however many bars are in those sections, to let the song sort of sit with you before it moves on to the next section. I think that works really well, especially in the key change section.
Did you think that his voice kind of can be poppy, like contemporary sounding?
I actually thought it was quite ballady. Like, his voice was suited for ballads, and I don't think you really find that in contemporary pop songs. I mean, you could probably apply his voice to contemporary pop songs, but I think he'd be really good in like a serenade sort of vibe, or a musical vibe as well. Like, I'm thinking of the song That Night. Like, I forgot the rest of the words, but that sort of
West Side
tone.
Story.
That's the one. But like, it's got that tone. It's got a really strong, rich tone color to his voice, and so I think that's a really cool vibe. But I wouldn't really associate that with pop specifically, no.
Okay, cool. So this music video, what do you think of it?
Okay. So I really loved the storm imagery, and I think that you have some really cool CGI to sort of support, once again, the dreamscape. I think the soundscape and the visual imagery really supports this idea of being in a dream, being in this environment where it's, like an enclosed thing. You know how dreams are sort of like a little bit unrealistic, but they look almost as if they could be real. It's got a really good sort of visual aesthetic for that. I love the room that he's playing piano in. It looks a bit like a labyrinth, and once again, that goes back to the dreamscape, because when you're in a dream, you don't know where you're going, you don't know which aisle you're going down. You sort of end up where you need to go, because that's how dreams take you. And so you've got that really labyrinth-like aesthetic in there as well. And I also appreciated that it was more than just him sort of sitting and playing or singing at the camera. You had a little bit of a narrative, just enough to entice you to keep watching without being like overkill or cheesy. Like, it was a really nice, subtle balance. So I quite enjoyed that. and there was like some smoke machine, I think, being used as well for like overflowing clouds on the floor, if I remember correctly. That was really cool. I just thought it was really well executed for the topic of dreams in that sense, I guess. But that brings me to the message. The message sort of gives me a bit of an Imagine by John Lennon vibe. So imagine all the people. I have a dream. This is my dream. It's this utopia that I want to present to you. So let's sort of see if we can find that together. And then like his big dream is if we love each other, we can move beyond the darkness. We can bring to the world that we bring to the world, and we can create a new world where we are united as one. Like it's got similar vibes. So overarching theme, love is the answer. Dreams of universal love. Similar to sort of theme to Love is Forever by Leonora from Denmark. But I think the message in this one is a little bit more mature. Maybe that's just the vibe I'm getting from the dum, 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 dum sort of song. It is a bit younger, as you have pointed out yourself, Mitch. And so maybe that's what's steering me to liking this one a little bit more. But overall, I think it does really well. There was also something, I think there were some lyrics. Oh, you are not obligated to bring anything to the world. You are only human when you can love. And I thought those were really nice poetry. The other thing is, as you know, I'm a Christian, and one of the things that really stood out to me as a Christian was this idea of you can only love, you're only human when you love. And being a Christian, I believe that we're made in God's image and God is love. And so that was one of the things that really struck out to me as a central theme, which I thought resonated really nicely with my own beliefs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Did you see, I gave you the music video, but did you ever see a clip of him singing in his national selection?
No, should I watch it?
I should have given you that. I'll give you a little bit of the link. I just want to see. I just want you to see what he looks like. I don't really focus on his audio or anything, but.
So it's not worth listening to the audio? Is that a warning?
No, all I want you to do is look at the visual, because his choice of outfit is the interesting thing.
Oh, he's an angel.
Yeah, that's all I wanted you to see. So
love it.
If he stepped out on stage, it
works with what I interpret it as well a bit. I think that's cool.
Yeah,
serendipitous. I think that's what that word means.
So if you think that if he stood out on stage at Eurovision with the wings on, you'd be cool with it?
I would be, but I also think that others might think it's cheesy. And perhaps I would be cool with it because one of the notes I made is, "Hi, God is love. We're made in God's image," and He's talking about love and peace and peace on earth. And I'm like, well, you know what? That works with what I took from it, so I'd be happy with that. But not everyone's going to take that because everyone's got different experiences. Like, we are all uniquely different people, and that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Alrighty then. Thanks a lot, Elysse.
No worries.
I'm here with Stuart Wilders from ESC Fan TV. Make sure to check out ESC Fan TV, subscribe to that after you subscribe to MJT Reviews. And The Dream by Roko. Stuart, what did you think of Croatia this year?
So Croatia had a really bad year last year, and Jacques Hudek before had a fantastic Eurovision, then not so great last year, and then he's composed this year's song, The Dream by Roko. What can I say about it? It kind of feels to me like it's a bit of a musical type entry. You'd expect to see it on the stage somewhere in Broadway or in London West End. I'm not getting this at all. I don't really understand it that well. I'm not sure I get the visual aspect of the wings. I've sort of seen other clips where maybe he's no longer got the wings. I'm not sure it has impact. It's definitely not the same sort of anywhere near as good as Jacques Hudek's entry a few years ago. But he's a great singer. So what you'll get is a great performance from Roko. Is it good enough to qualify? Maybe it'll just scrape through.
Do you think he'll get exposure and we'll do Royal Albert Hall or something after all this?
Well, Who's the guy for Australia this year that was an operatic? Mark Vincent, wasn't it? Yeah. So I kind of look at Mark Vincent. I think this is the sort of similar type of style to Roko. You know, I mean, if Roko was in the Australian national final, he would have been singing "This Is the End."
Yeah.
You know, yeah. In the same way as Mark Vincent's song didn't work in Australia Decides, I don't see this working on a Eurovision stage either. Sadly, I like him. I like his voice.
Okay, cool. Sometimes when you hear big songs like this, does it resonate in the venue, like the audio of the singer?
I mean, I'm going to push that back at yourself because you were in the audience in Australia Decides and you heard Mark Vincent. He came across really well on TV, and I think most people had him sort of somewhere mid-table. How did that sort of work on stage?
It sounded great. He kind of resonated the whole venue, and I heard people kind of oohing out of surprise that he was doing better than they thought.
Yeah, and I think the same with Roko. I think in the hall, he'll probably go down really well. People are probably quite blown away by how powerful his voice is. It's different in the venue to watching on television. It's not the same thing. You know, we're looking for little bits like that, not necessarily looking for the overall performance and thinking that's a qualifier. The average fan at home will just get 30 seconds of the song at the start and make the decision whether they like it or not. I'm not sure it's catchy, and it will sort of work and have an immediate impact as maybe some of the others around it.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Stuart, and thanks to all the jury members for the reviews. You can subscribe to check out more videos. Until next time, bonsoir Europe, and goodbye.
Who will make the cut? Who will win our hearts? MJT Review.